Bring down the power of love, I say. Bring down the power. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power. Stop hell and damnation. Bring down the power. Love to heal a nation is the greatest power.
Yes.
A wind of destruction is blowing over this land. And now the earth is a trembling.
Yes, South Central Windward. My neighbor, South Central Windward. Okay, good night to you. I want to say a special good night to a certain gentleman. And this gentleman is the gentleman who has Ralph Gonsalves Can't Sleep. You know who the man is? No, man. Our president, Dr. Godwin Friday. Yes, that's the man who has Ralph Can't Sleep. And so he started to try all sorts of things against Dr. Friday. I also want to say good night to our Vice President, Major Sinclair Leacock, and all the other members who are here who are in Parliament, who are not in Parliament as yet, and our past parliamentarians. But I want to say a very special good night to the people of South Windward. South Windward Passé? Yes. Folks, tonight is a very important night for all of us. And as we speak to you tonight, we want you as a people to give us the sort of listening ear that we think you should give us. You hear that we cutting loose, but I put a different spin in it. We cutting loose and running to Bruce, right? So you're cutting loose from those red rats and you're running to Bruce. So that is for those people who realize that they have been wasting time with the ULP. We are saying cut loose and run to Bruce, so that you will cut loose eternally with Bruce. But I want us to understand that even as we speak to our farmers in this country, you are some of the people who understand where we are as a nation. And there are times when I will dress in pure black and go into Kingston, and when people ask me, boy, why you are dressed in black like that? I say, I am mourning for St. Vincent and Grenadines. Because we are in a mess. We are in a mess brought upon us by this wicked regime you call the ULP. Not only is it a wicked regime, but it's a regime that has lost its way. It's a regime that is bankrupt. It's a regime that doesn't have the capacity to take our country forward. It is a regime that does everything that is possible for them to do in order to stay in power, because they want to do what they have been doing, that is denying us of good health service, denying us of a proper educational system, denying us of a good agriculture sector, denying us of being able to take our manufacturing ahead, denying us what we deserve as a people, an economy that is striving for the benefit of all Vincentians. They want to deny us, our young people, the level of employment that we are saying that we would create. And the reason they are doing this is because they want our people to continue to come to them begging. They want us as a people not to be independent. Because very early, this wicked leader that we have indicated that regardless to what you do, you must come back to Papa. And when you talk about Papa, it can also be related to Massa. Because it's as though we are living on Massa's plantation. And you know, when you're on Massa's plantation, he doesn't have to give you any sort of reason for anything he does, simply because he thinks he owns the plantation and the people working on the plantation. But we will let them know that we are not on any man's plantation. We are on this land you call St. Vincent and the Grenadines, given to all of us by the Almighty God. Now I started talking about our agriculture sector. And we know that that sector is not doing as well as it once did under the former government. And you notice the difference? We are under a regime that is ruling. But we were once ruled and managed by a government in the New Democratic Party. And it seemed to me that a lot of the feeder roads that were called Guti tracks, that were constructed under the rule or the management of the New Democratic Party as a way of assisting our farmers in getting their produce out of their farms in good condition to go on the market and to be well presented on the market. It seemed to me as though those roads are being neglected. So anything that was done by the New Democratic Party, they are being neglected by this regime. And this is just to show the sort of disregard and disrespect that they have for our farmers. We are saying that as a party, the New Democratic Party will ensure that our agriculture sector gets back to almost where it was before. But we are also thinking about taking it even further, where we are very much concerned not only about producing the raw stuff or the dasheen and the sweet potato and the bananas, but we are saying that we need to add value to these things. We need to get into agro-processing. We have a lot of things here that we can do. And you know, just right in St. Lucia, the amount of things that are on St. Lucia's shelf made from banana. You're talking about ketchup. Made from banana and other things made in St. Lucia on their shelves. What happened to us? Dog bite we? Huh? We can do likewise. But we have, as I said, a regime that is not concerned about taking our country forward. Because as far as they're concerned, it is forward never, backward ever. I'm saying then that we as a party and we as a government in the party of the New Democratic Party, we're going to ensure that we move our agriculture a little further into agro-processing. There's a lot of money into that. We also know that one of our biggest problems right now throughout St. Vincent and Grenadines is our health sector. That is a very critical area. And I've been speaking about it for a very long time. Bruce would have alluded to it also. And it is something that is I mean, you can say it is right to St. Vincent and Grenadines. And we hear Massa say that people come here to use our health service. But you know, the irony about it, anytime anything goes wrong with he and his family, other of his members of his party, what they do? They leave St. Vincent and they fly out. If this service was so good, why under the heavens they're not using it? It is simply because they know it is not at what it should be. And we cannot blame our nurses nor doctors. They are trying their best. They are doing what they can do with the very little that they have. But the facilities, man, when you talk about you have nurses' quarters in almost all the districts, but no nurses working there. No nurses overnighting. You have You understand? And we are saying that this is something that we need to give some serious attention. On the issue of crime, we as a people understand, and when I say we as a people and as a party, understand what it means to knit crime in its bud. The biggest solution to dealing with crime is creating employment for our people. You can recall some time ago, this regime talked about pan against crime. And I'm saying not until the members of the ULP start playing pan that I can say that that is really being effective. If we're talking about pan against crime, I would like to know how many persons found employment from playing pan. I would like to know how many persons were rehabilitated, as it were. Persons who would have committed crime, but since they start playing pan, they move away. These are things I would like to know. Do we have any sort of data to show? But I remember I just said, when we have the members of the ULP start playing pan, then we'll say pan against crime is effective. Because they indicated that they will be tough on crime and the causes of crime. But we know that that has been a fake. It has been a fake. There's nothing about that, because we have seen year after year the numbers have been increasing, and each year outdo the former year. So we have an increase in crime. And we are saying that if we create employment for our people, we would put a dent into crime, because a lot of the people in prison are young people. A lot of people who committing the crime are young people. But we have 46% of our young people unemployed. So folks, we are saying to you tonight, you in Lowmans, in Greg's, in South Central Windward, the time has come for you to cut it loose with Bruce. And to you in South Windward, we know things hard like hell. But we wanted to break the spell and vote Noel. Good night.